Choosing the right school for your child is a big decision. We know that children are not all alike, that families are not all alike, and schools are definitely not alike. In fact, the family school embraces difference. We know that each child learns differently, that they come from different backgrounds, and that not all families are the same.
Compared to other programs, this is the only place where kids develop intrinsic motivation, intrinsic excitement, where kids are taught real kindness.
We're not allowed to exclude. No, you can't play this game. We're like, sure, you can play this game.
It feels like here they sort of let them be who they are and let them grow at their own pace.
At the family school, we've designed a program that hears a child's voice, that encourages them to take risks and to push themselves, and that supports them as they grow and struggle in this journey.
Literally, like 4 weeks after being here, like she came home and this voice came out and she talked about how she felt, what she needed, what she saw or what she experienced.
We've designed a school where the parent is a partner in their child's growth and where they model inclusivity through their involvement in the school community.
It's a true partnership between the parents and the teachers and the school in its entirety.
We've designed a school where teachers act as researchers, where they look at each class as a living and breathing entity that changes over time and from situation to situation.
Parents and students choose to come here. They trust us and feel that we are here and we're going to guide their children into their future.
At the family school, we know we are different from other schools, but it's not haphazard or random. From our location, to our community, to our learning environment, we are definitely different by design. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you.
I think one of the things that makes it feel like a family, I love the name The Family School, because everyone walks their kid out of the car and into school and doesn't just like drop and run, that we all get to connect.
Julianne is at the front greeting every single student.
Good morning, Connor. How are you doing?
She remembers everyone's name.
Good morning, Genevieve. Hi, Andrew. Good morning, Kelton. Good morning, Sammy. Good morning, Amy.
You feel very welcome.
Good morning, Good morning. I'm good. How are you? Protect our mighty forest land.
Circle time in the morning on Monday mornings is another awesome thing.
Skies of blue.
It's the beginning of the week and they talk about the week and what events are happening.
All right, Friday, Blue Door is putting on a Parents' Day celebration. They're going to do a show of the play for us on the next Friday.
I'll never forget our first morning circle, the very first day of school, and Julianne makes an announcement to the students. Now, students, what happens when you see a snake on campus? And all the little kids' hands go up and they say,
You back away, just leave it alone, go tell the teacher. Pretty classic protocol.
Harper's eyes get bigger and bigger. And then, well, what happens when you see a tarantula?
You put your arms out so people know to stop, and you back up slowly and get a teacher.
She tugs on my shirt. What is going on? Where have you dropped me off? And now it's completely second nature. It's now the news that comes home is Nacho caught a snake today, or Nacho let us see the bats. We found baby mice. It's just part of the experience of being out here.
We have 4 multi-age classes on campus. Green Door holds our preschool program, working with students ranging in age from 3 years old to 5 years old. Blue Door is a kindergarten first grade multi-age classroom. Red Door is 2nd and 3rd grade. And Purple Door is a 4th and 5th grade multi-age class. And the purpose of a multi-age class is that it opens up so many opportunities for both the student and the teacher. By creating an opportunity for 2 grade levels to be together, you increase the time that students are interacting with someone that is either younger or older than them. And like a family, this is very natural.
They want to make sure that you can succeed and excel on so many levels.
It also provides the teacher with so many options when it comes to grouping. We know that children learn at different rates. You may have a child that's older than another, but is really academically lower when it comes to reading or writing or math. They still can get the support they need in a multi-age class, and they'll have an opportunity to shine in other areas.
The best decision of our lives was enrolling both of our children into both years of Green Door.
Separation, we feel, is a lifelong issue. Often it is the parents and child's first experience in a school setting and the first experience for a child to be separated from their parent. So it is a big step.
Why don't we come on in?
We are really sensitive to that, so we go to a lot of work of setting up ways to make separation easier for families. We do home visits with the family before the child starts at school. It gives us a reference point so that if they talk about their dog or their room, then we have actually seen it with them. When they come in, they each have their own cubby with a picture of them that we have taken at their home visit. So their cubby is already set up for them with their name and a box for their home things, their loveys, their clothes. And so then they have that as a reference point, and it's also their special spot here at school, and it is always there. We also realize that it is not just the child saying goodbye, but the parent saying goodbye. And that is a really important part of separation here at Family School, that we support the whole family, because if the parent is comfortable with separation, then the child will pick that up and they will be comfortable with separation also. They will give them a hug and a kiss, and then as they leave the gate, we are always there to sit with the child if they need it, to get them involved in another activity.
What's different inside his cage?
That sound was from inside the sandbox.
If the child is having a hard time saying goodbye, it usually only lasts until the parent is maybe into the parking lot. And then what we might do is call the parent. We may send them a picture of their child working, so the parent doesn't have that vision of that sad goodbye, that they know their child has made that transition into the program. Okay, well, that was a goodbye.
that was a nice, very sweet goodbye.
Nice.
My favorite thing to do in Green Door is do science experiments. My favorite thing to do is play with my friends.
The beauty of our environment is that it's an indoor-outdoor classroom. So what does that mean? If a child wants to spend all day in the sandbox, they can.
She comes home with her shoes like filled with dirt.
If they want to take the time to go inside and play with puzzles, they're more than welcome to.
I tell people my child goes to a school at the base of a national forest, and kids are outside all the time in the most beautiful setting that I've ever seen.
Another thing that's great about our school is we have wonderful neighbors that we can come and visit. They have pigs, they have a farm.
The teachers and faculty recognize that kids should be high energy, and how can we use the incredible environment around us.
We even have a big field outside so we can get a lot of our big energy out as well.
A tsunami of water just went into the playground. Ready? And everyone was squealing and running and dancing around in the mud, and it was all okay, you know?
Although in Green Door we plan our curriculum every week, we also have a lot of emergent curriculum that happens every day. Type of sunflower.
What is yours?
For example, if we have planned Legos in the yard, but a stink bug walks through, all of a sudden the stink bug is the curriculum. We might bring out some books, we might do a computer search and find out why does a stink bug stink and what are its enemies, and then when we get done with that, then we let the stink bug go and move on to something else. That's the way emergent curriculum works within our program.
Communication in Green Door is vital. One of the things that I love about our program so much is that we don't have timeouts. You'll never see a child sitting by themselves, alone, trying to solve a problem without any adult supervision. So we talk things out. If their feelings are hurt, we go to that other child and we ask them what the situation was. We're gonna help them solve their problem. They're not just gonna sit in a corner and wonder why they're by themselves. And if they have problems with another child, we have them go to that other child and we have them say, you know, my feelings were hurt because you did this, and we help facilitate those needs and wants from both parties. We talk a lot in Green Door, a lot.
In order to meet the needs of our BD1s and BD2s, our kindergartners and first graders, we split for the first hour of academic time, Monday through Thursday. During this time, first graders hone in on their decoding, reading, and comprehension skills. That time looks different when incoming kindergartners come into Blue Door. We focus primarily on what being a student means before jumping into academic work. All learning is happening through structured and purposeful singing, arts, and crafts. As their awareness of academic concepts grow, their classroom setup begins to extend. First graders serve as role models as to what a student should look like, as well as provide support to the kindergartners. In the Blue Door classroom, we like our students to come together as a family. One way that we do this is by having Friendship Circle once a week. We have our students sit in a circle and we pass out a random name tag to each person. They receive a name on that name tag, and it might not be someone that they've played with recently, maybe they've had a fight with them, or maybe they just don't really know that person. But what we ask them to do is to dig deep. Do you say things like, this person is cool? No. Doesn't work for me. To really think about this person and how they've impacted them, what they do on the playground that they observe, and different ways that they've seen this person being kind. Then when it's their turn to speak about this person, they turn, they look at them in the eye, and they have a moment.
I like how you always say what you need to say and you share your feelings. You always have a smile on your face.
And this is one way that we bring all of our kids together to create this big giant family. This year in the Blue Door classroom, we saw that our older girls were needing a safe space to explore certain things that they were feeling. So we decided to create Girls Group. We sit in a circle together and we explore certain topics that have come to mind. Here's where you get to decide, how am I going to choose to look at this? We then ask the sisters to speak out and share different things to relate to these experiences.
We can choose Jayla's partner because then that would be fair because it's her partner, not just a regular person from outer space.
Once they've shared, we open it up to the rest of the sisters in the group, and they get to then offer support to that person. It's a time and place where our students can feel respected, they can say anything, and we can help them move forward with these problems and give them different ways to solve them.
We put a lot of energy into building community on campus. We provide opportunities like buddies, where cross-age interaction can occur.
Can we all say, hi, Purple Door Buddies?
Hi, Purple Door Buddies!
Buddies is a great opportunity for kindergarten, first grade students and fourth, fifth grade students to interact and create relationships.
You play outside and you do crafts with them and you have to chase them a lot.
I like buddy time because I get to teach younger kids, like how to tie their shoes or how to do math.
Time with the buddies is important because it could even connect the doors together so they can see the diversity of other doors.
One example was last year we did a play and our Purple Door Buddies were able to participate and they narrated the play while the Kinder First students acted out in the play. This year we're helping our Purple Door Buddies decorate for their graduation and really hoping to create that bond not just inside of the classroom but outside in the classroom.
How much fun does this get? All right, so let's go through lemon. What's tricky about that? Let's go. O. Eh? No. No. Yes. Yes. The method of reading we use here at Family School is phonographics. Phonographics means sound picture, because that's what letters are. They're just pictures of sounds. It's phonetic based, but it's not phonics. If you take the word boat, the B and the T are one sound picture, but if you look at the O, these two are working together to say O. And we believe that children can easily access this because if we ask them, what is this? They'll say, it's a square. And we ask them, what is this? And they'll say, it's a triangle. And if you put those together, what is that? It's a house. So just like if you have ah and ah, and you put those together, it says oh.
Phonographics really helped me with my dyslexia and reading.
The way that they were teaching made sense to me, who kind of has the same sort of condition. Giving them tools in order to decode exactly how to read a word rather than going by A, B, C.
Phonographics is appropriate developmentally because it's just what is essential for what kids need to learn to read. Children feel successful and excited about reading right away and are reading words after learning just a few sounds. This waist is like waste basket or trash can, and this waist is like your waist around.
The phonographic system, which is amazing, one day had me cracking up because we're driving home from family school and Lucy's saying, 20 mupaha, 25 mupaha. And I finally realized what she's doing is she's reading the miles per hour sign, but she's calling it mupaha.
Our main objective in the Blue Door classroom is to get our students to develop a voice. We want to build their confidence, and one way that we do this is we reinforce our phonographics lessons and our writing lessons. We encourage our students to spell based on sound pictures and the sounds that they hear, and we don't ask them to spell correctly. The one thing that we want them to get out of this is to be able to read their own work. If they can do that, then they're doing great.
Talk to the unicorn, but the unicorn got scared. The end.
She writes books every day. She becomes an author, and it's a different subject for each book. And she does everything from the cover art to illustrating each of the pictures.
I really like the illustrations. I really enjoyed the details in your writing.
And I don't think that if she was at any other school, would she have that knowledge of how to do it, and then also that courage to do it as well.
Reading and writing are intertwined in our classroom, so oftentimes we'll look to professional writers to inform our own writing. Students get to write about what matters to them and get to make choices for themselves. And the main thing that we work on is that writing is meant to be rewritten.
Reading is a pleasure in Purple Door. We typically spend about 30 minutes a day reading, either independently or we always have a class book going as well. The Purple Door reading program is about investigating literature and then really bridges towards writing.
The chicken and Baja. One day in England, I was in my office when a call came over the intercom. Agent 52 to Mission Assignment Officer 3, please.
In Purple Door, the students can choose what pieces of their writing they want to publish.
That's right, I'm a chicken.
They might choose to ask for feedback from their classmates, and they might not choose to ask for feedback.
I liked your story, but I kind of wanted to learn more. It was sort of like a cliffhanger, like 24 hours later. Okay. Yeah.
Is this like when chickens take over the world and there's no humans left?
It's sort of like a chicken version of the world. Like, instead of humans, there's chicken.
And they really celebrate each other's success as they write and help each other to make their stories better or funnier or sadder or whatever that author is aiming to do.
Everyone attack. Everyone attack.
Baseline, 2, 3, 4. Let's sing the melody. 3, 4.
Here at Family School, the whole school sings, the whole school dances, the whole school plays music. If you're a first grader, play like a first grader. If you're a fifth grader, play like a fifth grader, and we will help you develop through those years. The two things we always talk about when we write songs together are compromise and kindness. Even if they choose a song title called Bandito the Spider about a spider who breaks into these fly banks, I will support that. When parents, grandparents, friends come to our shows, they see children playing music. And the response we get is, I didn't even know kids could actually be in a band in second grade. It's like, yeah, and not only that, they're like jazzed to be in the band.
Awesome round of applause, Red Door.
Green Door math is fun and hands-on. We start our day off every morning by doing name tags, and that's a great way for the kids to identify their names, but it's also a great way for them to learn their numbers, count as a group, and then we combine those numbers and then they figure out how much the whole group is together.
In Blue Door, we use a context-based learning program. It's called Context for Learning Mathematics. We invite our students to explore a topic that they can approach in everyday life, like needing to know how many markers we have so that we know how many we need to purchase. This really teaches our students how to organize their information, how to keep track of their work, and how to decompose large numbers. That does look like 127. We try to make learning math authentic so that students feel that they can use it in regular and everyday life. How many does she have?
127!
That is a very large number.
On a normal day in math, you'll see students using manipulatives to solve problems that are embedded within a context, so they're able to think about math in terms of the real world and to talk it out and to not only understand their own thoughts, but to understand the thoughts of others by sharing what they're thinking.
149 does not divide evenly by 12. To overcome that problem, we said that we could take one more box and put 5 peaches in that box. It was hard to divide with uneven numbers.
We had to stay in budget on $20 for the money when we went to the general store in Los Olivos, and you had to pretend you were buying things and stay in budget with the sales tax.
Okay, now you get to go for this journal back.
In Purple Door, we use a combination of different math programs that really encourage kids to use numbers. They do presentations, and there's lots of posters and building. We bring a lot of art in, a lot of color, and right now we're working on algebra, which is pretty exciting because most 4th and 5th graders don't get to do as much algebra as we do.
It would be 4x plus 2 equals 3x plus 8. I would make it simpler by taking away unknown on each side. It will still be fine.
In Purple Door, we have a classroom economy, which consists of Kira Bucks, which are my own invention. And every week the kids receive a salary of $200, and then they have to pay $50 in rent and taxes and things like that. There's also a playground tax. Then they get fate cards every week. Do you want to choose a different one, or you like that one?
Adopted a dog. He is so cute, but he cost you $100.
They can gain or lose money due to fate. Then they can get more money by doing different chores and things like that.
Margaret this year has been so taken with Kira Bucks that just the thought of kind of earning and spending anything sometimes has her a little too tapped into questions about family finances and affordability. She's always bringing the Kira Bucks issue to bear at home.
Here in the art department, it's my goal to teach about different artists as well as the mediums that they use. But more than that, it's my goal to encourage young artists to be creative, take risks, express their personalities and passions, and they can even grow from what they perceive as failure. The students are encouraged to make art that expresses their interests.
Today is Hoy es. Tomorrow will be. Mañana será. There's many studies that show not only Spanish, but learning another language gives them a lot of cognitive advantages, like problem-solving skills. They're more creative. They're open-minded. With a raised hand, who could say apple in Spanish? Remy. Manzana. I try to keep them engaged by not only teaching them like the lesson and having them write down notes, but having them play games so they can learn those terms. We play Jeopardy, we play bingo, we do partner activities. I try to let them have fun, but they're still learning.
Wow, I noticed that after the bell rang, your bodies were very still. Do you guys remember the definitions of mindfulness?
Noticing yourself.
Noticing yourself?
Like using it as a way to connect in and see how you're feeling.
To notice and be kind to yourself just like you would to another friend.
Being in the present moment.
Totally.
Noticing what's happening now.
The way that we say things or the way that we talk to ourselves or to other people can either be mindful
are not mindful, right?
Usually helps for me to close my eyes. You can see that the person's listening.
You don't have to close your eyes for mindfulness. It might be better for some people, but you don't have to. You also don't have to be still.
Teachers and students practice mindfulness through games, stories, lessons, conflicts on the yard, and participating in the world.
Mindfulness can be many things to many people.
A mindful lap is where students get to walk independently and listen to the world around them, and they get to exercise and use their bodies. Once stress has been relieved, kids are better equipped to face the challenges of the classroom and can do so with greater emotional stability.
In our class, we have a peace corner, and it helps you, like, if you're like really excited, you can go up there to calm you down. Or if like you're really mad, then you can go up there, or you're really sad or something.
It's amazing because when I'm frustrated or I'm sad or I'm not having a good day, I sometimes do take 5. It's where you put out your hand, you breathe in when you're going up, and when you put your finger down, you breathe out. I go like, okay, Ailish, take 5. It helps a lot.
At the family school, we've made a conscious decision to limit the amount of technology that our students are exposed to.
I grabbed tissue paper, I rolled it up, and we stapled.
At this young age, there's so many important things that need to be taught that are best taught without the use of technology.
Guys, come look at it. There's sand in here now.
When we want a student to be able to understand the emotions that another person is feeling when they're telling them something, that is done without the use of technology. However, we also realize that our students do need skills to move on to the middle school. So in our 4th and 5th grade Purple Door class, students are introduced to Google Docs and how to use the computer for communication. And this skill allows them to go into middle school with a knowledge of how this technology is going to help them in their next educational setting.
When students are transitioning from family school to Dunn Middle School, we work closely with the 5th grade teacher and head of family school in order to really understand the kid, understand their strengths and areas for growth. And so when they hit the ground at Dunn Middle School, we're able to really have a good understanding of how to work with them.
When I think about my own childhood and my own education, by the age of 2nd grade, I was earning A's and B's. And I became fixated on this concept of how to get the perfect grade. And so I wouldn't necessarily say that my education set me up to be the most intellectually curious person. Instead, I really understood the system and what I needed to do to be able to earn a grade. And the antithesis is true here, in that our kids are not focused on the outcome, they're focused on the process.
Sometimes learning has some anxiety in it. I have to learn this. Am I making mistakes? Am I doing okay? And there are these constant reassuring messages that learning is topsy-turvy and it's okay to be uncomfortable, but everything's gonna be okay.
When Julianne had the ERB testing, she would have them run on the big field several laps before they even sat down to testing. We're going to teach you how to take the test and get some anxiety out before you sit down to this test.
I have 2 very, very different daughters. Like in most families, they could not be more different souls from one another. What they're interested in, how they're interested, how they like to demonstrate their knowledge is very, very different. And the school really allows them that flexibility. For instance, Harper has always struggled with creative writing, gives her immense anxiety. And now in Purple Door, her teacher allows her the ability to demonstrate her writing in the format that's most comfortable for her, which is in writing screenplays. For my kindergarten daughter, she is great at math and is able to work at a higher level in math than if she were just grouped with her own academic peers. And she loves the fact that she gets to be challenged and gets to be part of sort of a different group of kids.
As an extension of the partnership between the family and the school, You will receive 3 times a year a written narrative about your child, and they will talk to you not just about the academic work, but they will also discuss with you your child's social and emotional growth.
For the parents, it's really clear where your child is in relationship to the skills and mastery that we're looking to attain.
And the school does use ERB testing, so the administration and the classroom teacher does have a testing type of measure to understand how content is delivered and how students are doing on that content aside from the actual assessments that the teacher does in the classroom.
Continuums look at very specific, discrete skills in reading, writing, and mathematics across the entirety of the elementary school curriculum. And some students may progress along that in a very linear path, and others may be making a complete angular trajectory one year and then slide backwards. And what's so lovely about that is it's recognizing that not everyone learns the exact same way. There isn't one size fits all program for every single student. And so the parents can leave here understanding not only how their child learns, but what skills has their child mastered, and where might there be areas that the child needs additional support.
We chose family school because we knew that we wanted to have a place where our son could blossom as an individual, not just as far as being a student, but really his personality, self-confidence, and self-esteem.
The people here see the child and the beauty and the magic and the uniqueness and how to just support them in that.
He's such a goofball. I don't think they got that at the other school. He was getting in trouble a lot more for his quirkiness, and here he's totally accepted.
I think some of the most difficult lessons in elementary school can be social. And one of the things that I so appreciate is that the teachers aren't just teaching academics. They're out on the yard with the kids, observing the social dynamics in the play, both to support the good, but then also the bad, where there's disagreements and arguments over rules that are ever changing in their made-up games. And I've seen immense social growth for my kids.
The focus on social dynamics at school has really affected how he looks at social situations and playing with other children in our community, in the neighborhood. And so he's able to identify communication strategies, leadership strategies, power tactics, and understand how to work with other kids, advocate for himself. He has a distinct sense of fairness, and he's not easily led into situations that he doesn't agree with. And that comes from independent thinking at school and in the classroom, where he's not asked to fit a mold that he doesn't agree with. He's asked to think for himself.
We all happened to be on campus for an event, and Margaret was upset. She was struggling with 2 friendships, and one, I knew these are parents I know and trust. These are parents I know to be good, caring people with good, caring daughters. 2, all the parents immediately got together and said, how can we handle this and solve this? And then 3, we all opted out because Kira was really the person who was at the helm in fixing it. And I think just that comfort in knowing Kira's got this, all of these messages will be reinforced at home so that the girls can really talk through the role that they played in the conflict, all 3 of them.
The sense of self that a student develops here is the most important thing.
It's a student-centered school that will take care of your child's needs, whether it's an issue involving speech, rapid development in a singular area such as ability with reading or music ability. Choosing to go to family school, you have provided yourself with the best possible environment for your child.
Being the family of a child with special needs, we needed a staff that would go above and beyond for us. And immediately, after learning about the school and the values that they have, we knew that this would be the place for our son.
We all believe in what we do here, and I think the kids can feel that.
In the office, we have an open door policy. We try to encourage parents to check in with us.
And it goes beyond the relationship the teachers have with the children. The entire faculty is involved, including the administration. We may even make a phone call home and talk with the parent and let them know, hey, your child's doing great today.
When a parent chooses to enroll their child or children in family school,
Good morning.
they do not have to worry about the best possible development for their child.
Every month, we take an all-school hike. We gather the kids together, we teach them about how to be safe in nature, and it doesn't matter what the weather is, we're going to be out there once a month, traversing the mountains and trails.
Those hikes progress, and starting in kindergarten, you go on a mile hike. And by the end of the year, you might be hiking 3 or 4 miles.
You're seeing the seasons change. You're surrounded by these beautiful fields, and you're staring straight ahead at Grass Mountain.
And they learn how we're all connected and how really we are just visitors. And then, midway through our hikes, we give them a quiet time. Everyone takes a snack break. They have a journal or a book. They find a quiet spot in the area. And for 15 minutes or more, kindergartners, third graders, fifth graders, everyone sits absolutely quiet and silent and enjoys nature. It's truly remarkable. In Purple Door, our outdoor education program goes to the next level. So at this age, we really are increasing a student's responsibility for themselves and for others.
And I go up close with coyote scat all the time. Sometimes I pick up the dry ones and smell it.
We take them on 2 trips a year. In the fall, they go to Sedgwick. They hike in and spend the night, and they do activities that revolve around local flora and fauna.
This is a foliose lichen.
In the springtime, they will take a week-long trip to a habitat that's different from our local area.
What have you got in the bus?
There's cup holders! There's cup holders! I know!
It could be to a camp in southern Big Sur, where they have a more ocean coastal forest format, or it could be a trip in southern California in the high desert region.
We're doing a sun or a baseball cap. It could be in your day bag, but that means you need to highlight it.
For many of our students, this is their first time away from home in the spring when they're gone for a week.
Is your duffel bag on the bus? Do you have your lunch?
It's a real big growth opportunity. They learn how to care for each other in that time. It is difficult to be away from home, but they have the support of their peers and they have the support of the teachers that are very skilled and aware of some of these challenging feelings that come up. And it's a huge bonding opportunity.
Smile!
It's amazing that when students are put in a difficult situation and they're all in it together, they naturally gravitate to support each other and provide that extra love that they might need to move through that difficult feeling they're having.
Family school depends upon involved parents, but you can be involved in so many different ways.
It can range from participating in our Thanksgiving sharing to running the coffee cart on a Friday morning.
In the classroom, you know, there's a teacher with lots of little people and they need pencils sharpened, they need papers cut, organizing the crayons and things like that.
I volunteer the same ways every year, and that makes it super easy. I volunteer at the bake sale for Einstein Day, I bring banana bread, and I do veggies and dip for graduation. Super easy, it's done, I know what to expect.
Working with a group of parents on writing grants, as well as all the other activities, digging holes or...
We also ask our parents to contribute to our campus. So we have 3 work days a year. You get to choose one and come on campus, work with our group to make some improvement to the school.
You can participate and are expected to participate in work days, which are something that we reinstituted as part of the ethos of the founding of the school. When the family school was founded 43 years ago, it really truly was a cooperative school. In today's day and age, that's very difficult, especially with dual working families and sort of our busy lifestyles. But what we recognized is that there is this really wonderful community element of being able to share actual physical labor and beautifying and making your campus environment better.
These are fun activities where they come on a Saturday, we choose a project on campus, and everyone gets dirty and makes it happen.
For work days, I'm always lined up with something that really fits my personality. I'll work in the classroom libraries because I'm a librarian.
To go into the questionable pile, put it there.
Or I'll be given a choice that I could work out in the garden because I love gardening.
Those activities enable us parents to get to know one another very, very well and to share stories about what our values are.
And then it takes on a little color of parent therapy, where we all end up, while we're weeding or cleaning or gardening, we all end up sharing these stories about parenting that by the end of our 3-hour stint or whatever it is, I feel a little better.
It's such a hard time of life when you've got these little people and demands and you're working. I now have a tremendous support system because of all those years of volunteering. These are the people I can reach. I've got on hand 15 people I can just call, and any day I say, hey, can you pick up my kid? Can I drop him off at your house at 7:30 in the morning? Because I've got to bring my other kids somewhere. And I feel like all the volunteering that I've done created those relationships that got stronger and stronger so that we're there for each other now.
A little history about my wife and I, we're not joiners. We're not participants in anything we've ever done in our lives. Not that we're against it, we're just a little timid. This school has changed that for us. That's what's really amazing for my wife and I.
Part of the message is that taking care and maintaining is not someone else's job. It's everyone's job to take care and to maintain what we believe in, and it feels really good to work hard for what we believe in. So we all show up and we all do it together, and then this is our school.
In the mornings, the drive for us is incredibly therapeutic. It sets the tone for our day. He just spots all of his little favorite things, and we can see hot air balloons and his favorite tree and the cows and the turkeys.
The drive out here to the school every day is something that I look forward to. Those last 9 minutes on Figueroa Mountain Road are spectacular because you're just surrounded by the most beautiful flora and fauna.
When I drive, my shoulders drop. I come out of the intensity of the busy world, and we drop into this very sacred space that is the land here. We've seen everything from coyotes to badgers, turkeys, pigs. We're paying attention to the natural world that functions very differently than the rest of society.
My grandparents told me a story about how when they lived at Midland, they remember somebody at Midland throwing a peach pit out the car window, and then now it's a little peach tree that blooms every year.
You see a lot of amazing things.
Snakes,
Squirrels,
Horses,
coyotes,
mountains,
bunnies,
hot air balloons.
We've named places along the road, Turkey Forest and beautiful fields.
Having that time in the car where you're separated from traffic, from town, from everything is, you can't put a price on it.
You have to slow down. The longer drive, you can connect with them on the way home. Ask them about their day, because there's nowhere for them to go, It's like forced family time.
It's a small thing that turned out to be really, really important in our day to and from. We look forward to driving down the road every day.
I choose to teach at family school because it really fulfills my whole heart. I get to teach somewhere that's beautiful, that calms me down, even though I'm working with so many parents and kids and families. It really is a place that kind of sets me at ease. I also get to work somewhere where my faculty and friends empower me, uplift me, and encourage me to teach the way that I feel is most important to me.
I choose to teach at the family school because of the creativity that's required. It really forces me to be nimble and crafty with my work, and I really enjoy being part of a community that values children and childhood.
Something that I think is really unique and special about our school is that we really encourage students to pursue their passions. And when you think about it, that's what life is like. And so if students learn how to do that, how to do the research, how to be inspired and how to communicate that inspiration to others, that's the best thing.
Life can be difficult at times. There's going to be obstacles. We try to provide them the skills through knowing themselves, through deep breathing exercises, through being in touch with their emotions, to move forward and accomplish the goal that they've set for themselves.
We said, we can't afford private school. I rent a house, you know, like I drive a car with 215,000 miles on it with a cracked windshield, but they called and they said, we can make it work. We can make it work. We'll help you.
If you're thinking about becoming a student at a family school, I think you really should. I mean, it's awesome. The teachers understand everybody and the students understand each other, and I've made a ton of great friends.
This school really helped me out with my anxiety problems. I love this school because they practically taught me better than any other school ever did. It's just a good school.
Well, depending on the person, I'd say that if they were really active, that they'd like it here. And if they just like reading books and stuff, that they'd like it here too. I love it here at the family school.
Family school's a perfect place. It's wonderful here, and everybody gets to do what they want as long as it's kind, and everyone gets to play, and it's all about kindness and learning and peacefulness and happiness.